welcome to this performance of Albumen as part of the Tactics Main Stage series. We recognize that we are privileged to perform on the unceded territory of the Algonquin Anishinaabe nations, who are the past, present, and future caretakers of this land. We promise to tread lightly and with respect. Chi Miigwech. The production of Albumen was made possible with support from the Canada Council for the Arts, the Banff Centre for Arts and Creativity, the National New Play Network in the US, and the Playwright Network of the Great Canadian Theatre Company. We would also like to acknowledge the support of the City of Ottawa, the Ontario Arts Council, the Canada Council for the Arts, and our venue, the Ottawa Fringe Festival and Arts Court Theatre, for helping Ottawa artists reintegrate with their art. This performance has a duration of 90 minutes, and today we are recording the performance for archival purposes, so be on your best behavior and turn off your cell phones.
I'm special. I'm needed.
An adult body holds 7 liters of blood.
Letters in the mail. You can make a difference. You can save lives.
Distillation was 6, almost 7 years ago now. Life has been a whirlwind since then.
You can lose up to a third of your blood before being in mortal danger. There are 4 different types of blood.
The list of the nearest blood drives.
I still love teaching photography.
I
try to do it as often as I can.
And 2 rhesus factors, positive or negative.
Every 56 days, I go. It's a responsibility. They ask, and I go.
I love working with live models. They're all very different. Different range of body and facial expressions.
They say jump, I say how high. They tell me they need me.
When you donate, they take a full liter of blood. The body needs a few hours to bring plasma back to normal levels. 7 days for platelets and 56 days for red blood cells.
I go to the blood bank.
AB
I make a difference.
negative is the rarest of all blood types, shared by less than 1% of the worldwide population.
I give and give.
The models offer so much of themselves when they pose. It's very hard work. They have to bare their souls fully and completely. Nothing of them is left untouched, unsullied.
AB negative is not normally in frequent demand, but AB negative is the universal plasma and platelet donor in case of an emergency.
As an artist, as a photographer, you need to have a relationship with your live models. They should be able to trust you completely.
There's this guy at the blood bank, a nurse. He's always really gentle.
What'll it be today? Whole blood or just platelets? It's great to see you.
He seems to always be around.
I know this is a little forward, but I see you here all the time. Do you want to go for a coffee sometime?
They need me. Who else needs me?
It's the eyes. There's always so much in the eyes. You can try to capture it. You can try, but it's never the same.
I'm seeing myself from a very high angle, floating above my body. She's holding a camera. Click, click, capturing stillness.
I hate her eyes. I look at my pictures of her and I hate her eyes. It's just not. Her eyes are flecked with gold and are just so absent. I can have the best camera, the best light, angle, timing, but it is impossible to capture this absence in her. If I look at her photographed eyes, I don't recognize her. She's a stranger.
When she shows her work, I receive an invitation. Beautiful, thick, cardstock, silky to the touch. At the gallery, clutching a glass of red wine, shivering in my dress. This gallery opens directly to the street, and the opening and the closing of the door brings in the cold. I look at her working the crowd. Her crowd. Dazzling smile, skin glowing, perfect black cat eye makeup. Everyone is wrapped around her finger. She holds all the strings. Here, she is revered.
I hate her eyes. So, I take a heated pin, stab the pin through the paper, gouge out her eyes, the edges of the holes singed, and I can feel her looking at me through those perfect little voids in her head.
Sometimes I forget what I look like away from her camera. I look at my hand holding my wine glass, and it looks lifeless and strange. Three-dimensional, but emptier somehow. At the gallery, some people recognize me from her pictures, most people don't.
It was my first series with her as a model, years before distillation. I called it Eyes Translucent. The gallery writers feel about how the artist, that's me, about how the artist removed the subject's eyes to help the viewer connect more deeply with the art. But deep down, the artist, me, gouged out the subject's eyes because they were not perfect. The curve of her back, perfect. But her absent, broken, damaged eyes, her imperfect eyes, removed.
We don't really know each other, do we?
We don't.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
What's your favorite animal?
What? Why?
Because I want to get to know you better.
And you think knowing my favorite animal will help you with that?
I really do.
Do you do this with everyone you're about to sleep with?
Never.
Red pandas.
Have you ever actually seen a red panda?
Pictures.
In a zoo or something?
I don't like zoos.
An animal you've seen. All of the animals, an animal you've actually seen.
I don't know. I like ducks. I think they're a little strange.
Good choice.
My turn. What's your favorite color?
Blue.
Well, that's easy. Everyone says blue.
I'm pretty sure a normal amount of people say blue.
Ah. Do you like avocados, or do you think they're just repulsive green mush?
I like avocados. Chocolate or vanilla?
Vanilla.
Side of the bed.
The one that's not against the wall.
And what if it's in the middle of the room?
Well, any side, I don't care.
Everyone has a side of the bed.
Not true. Brothers? Sisters?
Sister. Younger. Police officer. And you?
Brother. Older. Lawyer. What?
Imagine if they met. My sister, your brother, lawyer, cop.
They might have.
Imagine if they slept together.
Gross.
Beach or mountain?
Mountain. Kids?
Not that I know of. Dead grandparents?
2 dead, 2 alive. Live grandparents.
Grandpa, on my father's side. Birthday,
June 19th.
October 7th.
Where did you grow up?
Vancouver. First kiss, how old?
13.
Did you ever break a bone?
Ooh, good one. No. You?
Left arm, when I was 7.
Best breakfast food?
Coffee. What did you want to be when you grow up?
You know how they say dogs look like their owners? Does that mean that dogs take on the energy of their owners? I know you don't like it when I talk about energy. To you, energy doesn't mean anything, but I think that's what it means.
when she donates, she watches the blood coming out of her arm like it's not even hers, like it's completely removed from her.
Dogs with nervous owners will just become nervous dogs, and dogs who spend time around active kids will be active.
I call her name, make her sit in a donation chair. I smile at her. She smiles back.
Energy. You project your energy onto other people, you just do.
As I set up the butterfly needles, the tubes, the machine, it takes seconds for the blood to go up the needle and into the tube. When it does, her eyes become darker as the hemoglobin drains from her skin. Do you want me to stay with you while you make your donation? Every parcel of my skin begs her to say yes. Gloves, if I could just remove my nitrile gloves and just touch her?
If I had a dog, I wonder what kind of energy I would project onto it. Because I'm just so tired. So tired all the time.
No, she says. I'm okay by myself. The air around her seems hazy, overexposed. I'm sitting too close to her and I know it. I peel my skin away from her presence, stand, go back to my desk, change my gloves, protocol. Away from her, the air feels colder. I need a second to catch my breath.
Winter, summer, sunshine, rain, tired. No matter what.
An alarm sounds and I rush to her side. Your blood pressure is a little low, I'll just stay and monitor it. Tell me if you want me to stop. If you want me to stop, I'll stop.
If I had a dog, I'd let it sleep in my bed with me.
Her eyes flutter, maybe I imagined it. Don't stop, please, she says.
Maybe I need to get a dog. Maybe a dog would be good for me. Get me outside, force me to do things, and just be present. More present. Yes, I know. You also hate it when I talk about being present.
She drinks her juice, and with her fingers she traces the line from her wrist to the gauze in the crook of her elbow. Thank you, she says. Thank you for coming back when the machine, she stands. I have to get back to work, she whispers. See you in 56 days. She leaves.
I don't think I can take care of a dog. Maybe I should get a cat.
I remove one glove, and then the other.
Cats sleep like 18 hours a day, don't they?
With my bare hands, I touch the spot where her left arm was propped up. The cheap vinyl of the armrest feels electric to the touch. 56 days. 56 days.
Maybe I'll just get a cat.
I could tell you I was always an artistically inclined child, but that's not true.
What if you drew me? I could pose for you.
Why?
I'd love to pose for you.
But then something changed. I'm not sure how. I'm one of those people who kind of fell into art at a later age. I was 16 or 17 when I started being serious about it, when I decided it's what I wanted to do with my life.
I feel like you have this other life, this other secret life. Art school. Art.
That was a long time ago.
Well, you never talk about it. I want to know everything about you.
Why?
Because everything about you is interesting. You're perfect.
Photography is voyeurism, in a way, capturing something that's hidden. I mostly draw my inspiration from people. I like to observe people. Sit there and watch them when they don't know I'm looking at them. I want them to have that feeling that someone is watching them. I want to be the person watching.
There's this space between my two front teeth. I'll always have dark circles under my eyes, even if I sleep forever. I drink too much coffee. My nails are brittle,
There's
they break all the
something
time.
very
I have
inspiring
a mole
about
on my
death.
thigh.
But there's a
My
reason
knuckles.
death has been a
I
theme
never
for
floss
so
like
many
a dentist,
artists.
I lie about it.
But just this
My
morning,
right breast is larger
a
than
bird
my
flew
left
into
one.
my
My
window,
lips are
fell
always
to the
dry, no matter
ground,
what I
knocked
put on
out.
them. I
But
don't
it
like
wasn't
writing.
dead.
I lose pants
It managed to
constantly.
fly away
I have
a few
terrible
minutes
posture.
later.
I can't sing. I've always
The
hated my
brink
legs.
of
I feel
death.
dumb when the
That
conversation veers towards
exact
politics.
moment. Art.
I can't draw anymore. can't even hold a pencil. It's just so heavy in my hand. I don't have anything left. Empty veins, bone dry. I can't draw you. I know too much about you. The other day I was walking to the office and by the sidewalk there was this squirrel.
Okay.
There was this dead squirrel.
Right.
It's obviously been dead for months. It's all dry and flat. It was under the snow for months, and now that the snow's mostly melted, it was uncovered.
Uncovered?
Yeah, you know, like brought back into full view. So I'm walking to the office and there's this dead, dry, flat, still frozen, dead black squirrel by the sidewalk.
You said dead twice.
Of course I did. I'm stressing my point. It's been dead for months.
Okay.
So there's this dead squirrel by the sidewalk, and I can't help but stop and stare at it.
Why?
I don't know.
Isn't that weird?
Why?
I don't know.
So I'm standing there looking at this squirrel. It doesn't even look like a squirrel anymore. It looks like a piece of old leather, cracked and broken, but with a tail.
Well, that's how you know it's a squirrel.
Well, that's how you know that thing used to be a squirrel.
Yes.
So I keep walking and forget about it. I get to work, sit around, wait for 5 o'clock. I leave, same path, same sidewalk, and it's still there. The dead squirrel, it's still there. Then the next day, morning and afternoon, then the next day, then the next week, then this week. It died in the fall and no one did anything about it. It snowed and it was buried all winter. It's been dead for months. It's still cold out now, but what if it's still there in a few weeks? It'll begin to thaw, it'll become soft and swollen, it'll be covered in flies.
Yeah.
I called animal control twice. They told me animal control was for live animals. No one can tell me who to call for a dead animal. Every day I walk by and hope it's been picked up by the city. Surely it's the city who should pick up dead animals.
Probably.
Is it because it's so small? They would pick it up if it was a deer or a bear.
I don't think they have bears downtown.
You know what I mean? A raccoon or a dog. What if it was a dead dog? Someone would pick it up, wouldn't they?
I guess. Why are you telling me this?
No reason. Nothing. Tomorrow, I think I might bury it.
The flat, dry, leathery, dead squirrel?
Yes. I'll bury it.
Well, the ground is still frozen. You won't be able to bury it.
Fine. I won't bury it.
I have this craving for meat. Venison, deer meat, the smell of it, the wild, savage taste of it. Deer meat tastes like cedar trees, like swamplands, like forest fires. It tastes like great, vast expanses of woodland, like trees with dying limbs, like rotting leaves, like thunderstorms. It tastes like gasoline, salt, iron. I'm very aware I'm eating something that died. I leave the meat to thaw on a plate on the kitchen counter. Throughout the day, I come into the kitchen to look at it. The red, almost black blood seeping out of the wax paper, pooling onto the whiteness of the plate. This plate is all wrong. It's too white and too fucking IKEA to hold the meat I've been craving. I grill the meat and I eat it. I hold it in my hands and I eat it, ripping at it with my teeth, the juices dribbling down my chin, the grease on my fingers leaving marks on my wine glass. I drink wine. I don't know anything about wine and I don't care. meat, wine, seeping into my veins. I drink the entire bottle of wine, head spinning, filaments of meat stuck in my teeth, my cracked lips stained red, I'm stumbling, heavy, out of focus. I put my hand in the pool of blood on the plate. The blood drips to the floor as I bring my hand to a blank canvas leaning against a wall. The canvas soaks up the blood and the grease. I haven't painted in years. I haven't painted since I became known as a photographer. Who cares? I was never good at it anyway. Not like her. Jessa. She has painting in her blood. Again and again, I take the blood in my hand and smear it on the canvas. The last few drops I lick with my red wine-stained tongue, and I stumble into bed without washing my hands, without brushing my teeth, without cleaning anything. In the morning, head pounding, thirsty, filthy, the smell of meat clinging to my skin, I look to the canvas. The blood, so beautiful last night, is caked and brown with spots of black soot over it. I love it, I whisper, as I fall back into bed.
Don't you get cold?
Not really. I'm used to it.
Do you do this often? I thought your office job was good money.
It is, but a little extra never hurts. Posing for life drawing classes doesn't pay that well, but posing for individual artists is usually good money.
When I moved here, I used to wait tables to pay for school.
Figures.
Why?
You look like someone who would wait tables. You might even have been my waiter in another life.
Did you ever go to Alejandro's on Clark? Mexican place.
No, is it good?
Not really. But I worked there. Mackay's pub.
The one on Sheraton?
Yeah.
No, sorry.
I was a good waiter.
I'm a good model.
I'm sure it's hard to stay still for so long.
It's like anything. I'm sure it's hard to balance 6 plates of food and a tray of beers.
Can I see drawings of you?
You already see me naked all the time.
That's not the same. See what the drawings captured.
No.
Why not? I'm gonna get a beer. Do you want one?
Yes.
Bottle or glass?
Bring it to me in a glass, on a tray, like a waiter.
Is that one of your fantasies?
I just want to see what it would be like. What if we hadn't met when we were 22, when you were serving tables at Mackay's pub?
I don't think you would have noticed me when we were 22.
I slept with 4 waiters when I was 22.
Are you sure you've never been to Mackay's pub?
Who even knows anymore?
Oh, my beer glasses are dirty.
I have to go.
You could spend the night. You've never actually spent the night before.
No. I should go. Chicken pox made holes in your skin. Minuscule craters. One on your forehead, one on your left shoulder, one on your lower back. I imagine all of them making a connect-the-dots picture of your body, of your whole childhood. I can always find a scar on your lower back, even in the dark, and I like to put my index finger in it when you're on top of me. This scar reminds me you're real. The first time we fucked in my apartment, a block away from the blood bank, you were being really gentle with my arm, but the gauze fell anyway. And now there are 3 drops of my blood on the white fitted sheet of my bed. I washed it, but it's still there. The scar of the first time you were in my bed. After my head spinning from the taste of you and the 1 liter of blood I was missing, you took a cookie out of your scrub pocket, unwrapped it, made me eat it. You came prepared. When you reached down to the floor for your scrubs, I noticed your scar for the first time. Maybe it's the dizziness. Your scar is haunting me. I took my finger to the droplet of blood pooling in the crook of my arm and filled the crater on your back with my blood. Me inside you. You never noticed. You gave me a cookie, I left it half eaten on the windowsill, and we fucked again. I feel better. Yeah, I'm fine. Again, yes. Again, please, I'm fine. Spinning, lightheaded, afternoon light pulsating under my eyelids, singing spots. It was only when I put my index finger in the crater of your chickenpox scar that everything calmed down, that everything stopped moving. Your scar makes everything solid.
It's called the mere exposure effect. We develop preferences for things, images, sounds, colors that we find familiar. In the real world, you know, that thing outside the confines of this fine arts program, the real world, the mere exposure effect is most effectively used in advertising. Think of how many company logos you see on a day-to-day basis. Studies show that most third graders can identify upwards of 50 company logos, but only 5 to 10 types of trees. We love the brand because we are familiar with its image. Advertising companies use this all the time.
Let me see.
It's a masterpiece.
What? That's a terrible picture.
Hey, you're the artist, not me.
Come on, it looks nothing like me.
When we see ourselves in a mirror, it's always from a certain distance, let's say the depth of the bathroom countertop, from a certain angle, and in reverse. Photography shows truth, shows us angles we can't see in the mirror, shows the way others see us.
It's beautiful.
It's a blurry cell phone picture.
I'll be the judge of that.
Come on, look at my face. Just erase it, please.
No face and no body are truly symmetrical. In the mirror, we're used to seeing this asymmetry in a certain way, but in a photograph, the asymmetry is reversed, and because of the mirror exposure effect, the flaws of asymmetry on our faces seem even more grotesque. To anyone else, the photograph just looks like the person they're used to seeing.
Let me think another one. Come on.
Okay, Drew, keep your blurry pictures.
Oh, wait, look at this one of the two of us. Oh, you can't tell me this isn't a great picture. The winter afternoon sunlight, the rumpled sheets, this here, art.
I look happy.
Is that a bad thing? I'm gonna take a shower. Make yourself at home.
edges.
Slipping.
Sliding.
Destroyed.
Skin
is
touching. Touch.
Touch me.
You are just
Listen.
eyes closed.
Eyes closed. Heat
Your skin.
and sweat.
Moans.
You taste
Please.
blood.
And
Listen closely.
listen.
Thirsty, I'm so
Thirsty, I'm so
You look
completely
luminous
broken.
inside.
like severed.
Here, right here.
You look
Stop. Don't say it.
luminous inside.
You look luminous
For
inside.
anything
Touch me.
Looking
to
for
hold
anything
on.
to hold
Why
on.
do you
Tastes like
Don't talk.
completely
Listen.
broken.
I feel your pulse.
Here.
Here. Bite me,
Bite me,
please.
please.
Don't.
Yes, please.
This
I'm here again,
Again.
please. Shattered and broken. Your
Anything to
skin
hold
just erase me.
on. Erase me.
Your skin on me.
Don't stop.
Don't stop.
By
Breathing.
by
Bit
Listen.
bit. I. We're the same. Your skin and my skin. The same. I could wear you like a coat.
You're bleeding, Jessa. Hi. I brought you some wine. It's great to finally meet you, Danielle. Jess has told me so much about you.
Good things, I hope.
Great things. It's an honor. Jessa tells me she poses for you sometimes. And I've been reading up on you, looking at your work, listening to interviews. Your stuff is amazing. It's so different. Sorry, I'm just, I don't mean to seem starstruck. It's just so great to finally meet you. It feels a little surreal to be invited to your place for dinner.
Why is that?
I don't know. You're someone everyone talks about.
Everyone.
The papers, the internet. People talk about you, about your work. You're a celebrity.
Am I?
I think you know that you are.
Well, Lucas, you may know too much about me, and here I am not knowing anything about you. We should remedy that situation.
How about some wine before the interrogation? Do you need any help in the kitchen, Danielle?
I'll get some glasses. And no, you wait right there. I made lasagna, just waiting for the oven.
I'm still really nervous. Do I look nervous?
Just relax. Calm down.
What's with you?
Nothing.
Come on. I've asked you about her a million times. And now she's invited us to dinner, which is a good thing. And you're sulking.
I'm not.
You are. Jessa, we've been together for weeks. And this is the first time that I get to meet a friend of yours, and it's only because she's the one that extended the invitation.
A friend of mine?
I just want this to go well. Okay?
So, Lucas, Jessa tells me you're a nurse.
Yes, mostly at health centers, youth centers, a free clinic. It's a great vibe. I did most of my training at the ICU at General, but I love the health center. It's great. I know the people that come in, the volunteers. It's great.
And you two met at a blood drive?
Yes. I run the blood bank at the clinic once a week. And Jessa comes in pretty often. She's a regular. Whole blood every 56 days, like clockwork, and platelet donations in between.
Well, Jessa is very giving. Sounds like a great place to work.
It's great. You get to meet all kinds of different people. They're stuck donating blood. They like to chat.
Well, you're the only nurse who talks with blood donors.
Well, I'm a people person. That's why I became a nurse. That and, needles. No, Let me, I insist.
Oven mitts are by the sink.
One lasagna coming up, ladies.
So, this is Lucas.
He's nice. He's a good person. We're getting along.
He's in love with you.
He's not.
Whatever you say, Jessa. Interesting choice.
Is that the reason you invited the two of us to dinner? You wanted to see him for yourself? I've known you for 10 years. You've never invited me to dinner. You've never invited any of your models to dinner.
I don't.
You only invite other artists.
Maybe you're not the person I invited to dinner.
Hey! Danielle says you're not feeling well. Do you want to go?
Danielle says.
It's no trouble at all. I'll freeze the lasagna and we'll reschedule soon.
Yes, we should go.
Okay. I'll drive you home. Do you want me to bring the car closer?
No, I'm okay.
Are you sure?
You're very compassionate, Lucas. I'm convinced you're a great nurse.
You should stop by the clinic sometime. Make a donation.
Very
You can always
soon.
use new
I
donors.
promise.
Let's go, Lucas.
I hope you feel better soon, Jessa. Don't worry about a thing. No worries.
Make sure you drink that wine. It's a good one.
I'm sorry. Home, stunned, eating toast for dinner. Text from Lucas.
Feeling better? Let me know if you need anything.
Text from Danielle.
You're better than this. Stop wasting my time.
Text from Lucas.
Do you want company?
Text from Lucas.
Shitty movie and tea.
Text from Lucas.
I'm sorry you're not feeling well.
Text from Lucas.
We'll reschedule. I really do want to get to know her. You talk about her all the time.
Text from Lucas.
Seriously. Shitty movie and tea?
Text from Lucas.
Okay. Feel better. Sleep well. I'll call you tomorrow.
The next morning, heavy snowfall is burying cars and sidewalks, muting the city's softening edges. I walk around for hours and end up on Danielle's street. From the street, her apartment windows are dark, but the windows of her studio in the loft next door are ablaze with white work lights. It's like she knows. She walks up to the window and sees me across the street looking at her. Suspended time, thick snowflakes. A red and white blur crosses between us, the number 7 bus heading south. The rear of the bus is caked in brown snow. I look back to the building across the street, but the window is now empty. The air between me and her feels almost liquid, thick, humid. The work lights of her studio are turned off. Her living room light is turned on. The snow gets heavier, curtains are drawn, the wind howls. I walk back home. It takes me an entire pot of coffee to feel warm again. Stop wasting my time, she said. Stop wasting my time? Text for Lucas.
Feeling better? Lunch? I'm off at 1 p.m.
I don't answer. Waking up and asking myself, what happened? How did I end up here? Sitting in an office tower of gray walls and gray carpet and gray people, entering forms and numbers in a computer database called HTSTP. I never remember what the letters mean, and I don't care. Spin once, enter 3 forms, freeform spin. No one cares if I'm here or not. Saeed comes by my cubicle. Working hard, or hardly working. Same joke every time. One day, some Tuesday or maybe Wednesday, I walk into the building lobby, peel off my scarf and toque, fish out my ID card, and then I see it right in front of me. Two men are hanging a painting on the wall by the elevator. The piece is beautiful. It grabs you by the throat. It's huge, colors everywhere. I'm stricken, glued to the spot. Crazy, isn't it? It's Shauna, the security guard behind me. I jump a little. Some up-and-comer artist. It's on loan from the Canada Art Bank, she says. They do this for embassies, government buildings, offices, and places like that. A guy stands by the security desk and watches the setup, texting on his phone. I walk up to him. Are you the artist? No, I'm her agent. She's in Berlin at the moment. I want to tell him how beautiful it is, how it changes everything to have so much color here. I want to find out where he works. I want to know who she is. I want to know everything about the painting, but he goes back to his phone. I move a little closer. The title card is already on the wall. I know her! I turn back to her agent. I want to tell him I know her. I want to tell him I was in art school with her. I want to tell him I'm so moved by her work, but I catch a glimpse of myself in the mirrored elevator doors. Standing there, holding my ID card. I work here. I work here. There's nothing left to say. I head upstairs, spin on my chair, drink coffee, and head out to happy hour with Saeed and the others. Awesome, Jess. You never come to happy hour. Today I'm going. I drink 1 beer, 2 more, shots of something or other. And all I remember from happy hour is shoving my tongue down Saeed's throat by the bar, inviting him to my place, him saying no, saying I'm too drunk. I wake up alone the next morning, yanked from sleep by a good morning text from Lucas. I head back to the office. In the lobby, I don't look at the painting. Fuck Tamara Gazievich. Saeed doesn't come by my cubicle. I spin on my chair, feel nauseated. I stop. Professor?
Danielle, please.
Danielle.
What do you need?
I just wanted to invite you to the first year show on Thursday night. One of my pieces was selected, and I'd love for you to see it. It's a painting. My piece. It's a painting.
And you'd love for me to see it?
Yes.
Why?
Well, it's my first piece in a big show.
A student show?
Well, Professor Lyle says that gallery owners and the art community attend these shows.
Probably not the first year shows.
Oh,
I'll be there.
thank you.
No, have to. It's part of the job description. I'll keep your peace in mind.
Thank you.
Don't thank me. You might not like what I have to say about it.
How's your arm?
It's fine. A little sore, but nothing too bad.
That's good.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Okay.
And why do you donate so much?
I have AB negative blood. It's rare.
Very. And it's the universal plasma and platelet donor.
I've been doing it for years, since I've been out of school. I get calls to ask for donations and sometimes emails with a list of blood drives near my work or my place.
And you just go.
Why not? If it can help. It doesn't hurt.
When your body needs time to compensate for all that blood loss, it's hard work. And iron supplements can do a number on your liver.
Sometimes I think that donating blood is the only thing I do that has any repercussion on the world.
I'm sure that's not true. Still, we rarely see people that are this committed. I have a friend, O negative, universal donor, he never donated blood. I'm happy we're doing this. I see you around the clinic all the time, and I really wanted to talk to you.
Why didn't you?
I don't know. Nurse, patient. I didn't know how you would react.
We're not getting married, it's just coffee.
True. Very true.
So, have you been working as a nurse for long?
A few years. I used to be a landscaper. My dad's company out west. Brutal job.
Being a nurse looks like a brutal job, too.
I wanted to change. I don't have some grand story of some sort of calling. I wanted something different. I'm good at it.
You look like you are.
I love it. Split-second decisions, running around, feeling useful.
That sounds great, actually.
Now, what do? I don't think I ever actually asked.
I work in an office.
Doing what?
Stuff.
Okay.
And things. Stuff and things.
Ah. Now I see why you donate so much. I'm sorry.
It's okay, I just think my work is not the most interesting thing about me.
Of course.
I'm a very interesting person.
I'm sure you are. Tell me something interesting.
Did you know that you can produce a photograph from a negative using egg whites? It's called albumin printing.
Interesting. I did not know that. Albumin is also found in blood plasma. It's a protein. Egg whites. Blood.
Sciencey.
I meant something interesting about you.
This scar, it's my first and only experience with welding.
Welded.
Art school.
Art school? Really? Wow. Chickenpox.
I live just a few blocks over. Are you coming?
Oh, okay.
This series is called Distillation. I made it about 6 years ago. Photograph concept. Positive images printed by using a large number of superimposed negatives. To distill is separate one thing from the other, to take something mixed and break it apart, separate it into components that are distinct and pure. Image by image, layer by layer, negative by negative. This woman in the photos, is she the sum of all these layers, these negatives one on top of the other? Or can she be distilled into only one of the layers? What is the sum of all her parts? Is she less than with a layer missing?
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
She peels layer after layer of me. Translucent. I become translucent.
Are they for sale? I could buy one. Or a print. That's a thing, right? Prints?
Photographs are just reprinted, but not these ones. They're very complex. The manipulation of the negatives, the work that went into them, they were all composed in the darkroom, nothing digital. And they've all been sold. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I just find them beautiful.
When I donate, I look at the blood being taken from me. Some people can't do it, watch themselves being emptied. I look at the bag of blood and I know it's mine. I know it was a part of my body. I know it was inside of me. I think about it and I just feel numb.
This woman is empty, drained of all presence. Even with 100 layers, she'd be empty. Distillation breaks something down to its simplest components, one by one.
The woman in the pictures, that's Jessa, isn't it?
She's my model, yes.
Is she usually your model?
She started posing for life drawing classes even before I knew her. A lot of artists try it for the experience. Then she posed for some smaller projects of mine in her last year of art school. I started distillation after she graduated. The project took nearly 2 years. She's been my model for almost 10 years now.
Are you saying Jessa's empty?
It's not for me to say, but something is captured in an artwork. Some sort of quality of presence or absence.
She sees me in a certain light. She creates this image of me for the world to see. Empty, broken. She gets under my skin. That's what she does.
Have you seen any of her work? Jessa's? She won't show me anything she's done.
I've seen her work, yes. I used to be her teacher.
Is that how you met?
It is.
I feel like I don't know anything about her.
Jessa hasn't done anything in years. She was very talented. Everyone thought so. She had offers from galleries, agents, and then one day she just stopped. She dropped everything.
Why?
It hits you when you least expect it. She's clutching her throat in your claws, and you don't notice at first it feels fine, but then it hits you like a wave, and you can't breathe.
Why? That's hard to say. I don't think I can pinpoint exactly what made Jessa stop painting. I had hoped by asking her to be my model for bigger and riskier projects like distillation, she would be inspired to go back to her art, but that hasn't happened yet.
Do you think that it will?
I hope she isn't wasting her talent.
Do you know any of her work? From when you were her teacher?
No, nothing. Sorry.
I feel like she hides a huge part of who she is from me.
Does she know you're here, Jessa?
She's at the office. No, she doesn't.
Will you tell her you came by?
Should I?
That is not for me to say.
Someone once said to me, "Oh, you have Danielle in first year photography. You'll see, she'll destroy you, but she'll make you so amazing after." And I wondered, after what?
If she gave it all up, the art, she wouldn't pose anymore, would she?
You may know her more than I do.
I don't think that's true.
It's just there, right on the edge of my memory. I wish I could fix it on paper, a photograph, bath after bath, becoming clearer and clearer. I used to be happy. I don't remember what it feels like to be well rested. I feel tired all the time. Iron depleted, my veins lined with rust, blood protein chains rusted through. It's a cycle of 56 days. 56 56 days between each whole blood donation. There's a point in the cycle when I feel perfect. It lasts a few days between the fatigue of the donation and the dread of the next one. I can hear him talking. Lucas. I know he's talking, but it's just a strange soundscape, like background music in a restaurant, soft and sexy to encourage drinking and secrets. He's talking, I can see his lips moving. Why do his hands move so much? He never does this at work. When he wears his blue scrubs and works with patients at the blood bank, every little movement of his fingers is precise and meticulous. Why do his hands move so much? I try to listen, to actually catch the words and figure out a pattern of hand movements, but what he's saying, music. I wonder if he ever played music. Piano, maybe. I can see it, I can picture it. In black and white, with a slight haze around the edges. Him sitting at a piano, sheet music in front of his eyes. I'm not listening again. The sound of his voice is so soothing, you could drown in its undertow and not even notice feeling safe until it's too late. He knows I'm not listening to him. He can see it on my face. In slow motion, I see his hand reach for my shoulder, and his lips make out the syllables of my name. Jessa. Like being pulled from sleep. I nod. Sure. Yes. Great. And he goes back to talking. And I think, I used to be happy.
The sun is setting and minuscule snowflakes start to fall. First snow, November. The wind picks up trash and makes it swirl on the sidewalk. I zip up my coat. I forgot my sweater at work, so I'm only wearing my scrub top under my coat. Coffee with a donor, Jessa, turned into hazy, breathless, drowning blood rush. Entire afternoon in her white bed and white bedroom. It's cold. I pick up the pace. I get home, I kick off my shoes, I peel off my scrubs. On the bottom hem of my scrub top, there's a small drop of blood. Jessa's.
A gelatin base holds the silver halide crystals. The right amount of light, exposure, causes the silver salts to react, and a latent image is created on the negative strip. To develop the negative strip, you first wash it in a solution of water and acetic acid. This is the stop bath that causes the silver salts to stop reacting to light. Next, the strip is placed in a fixer bath, usually ammonium thiosulfate. The fixer bath liquefies the rest of the silver salts so they can be washed away, and the latent image is fixed onto the strip. All of these steps are done in total darkness. Even the smallest amount of light will destroy all your work.
I didn't even ask her for her number. I take out my laptop and I Google her name. On the second page, there's a gallery website. Underneath it says artist we represent and her name. It has to be her. I click. Dead end. The page you have requested no longer exists. I go back to Google. I type in her name and artist. Her name and visual artist. Her name, artist, and the city. I try everything I can think of, and fewer results show up each time.
Next, the strip is washed again, then dried. Negatives can become positive images by being projected through an enlarger and fixed to photopaper using the same baths, becoming a true photograph.
My phone beeps. Text message from a number I don't recognize. You left your sweater in mine. I turn off my computer. I put on my shoes and my coat. I walk out the door. I backtrack to her place. I knock on her door. She hands me my sweater. Your skin is so... Did you eat something? You just donated.
That was hours ago.
Do you want to go eat something?
Let's eat here.
What do you have?
Nothing.
She closes the door behind me. She stands very close. My skin prickles. I can't breathe. Her eyes, unblinking pools of darkness. She goes to her room. I follow. To the bare and white walls of her apartment. I let my sweater fall to the floor at the front door.
Bear.
Everything is...
Stop.
Stop, please.
Not this. Not this.
Blank
Shattered.
shattered.
Bare walls.
Your skin.
Your skin is...
Stop.
Open your eyes.
Please. Please.
Open your eyes.
Completely broken.
Why are you crying?
And I fall.
Why are you crying?
Iron and
Iron Man.
Happy.
Don't
feel
trust.
this eye.
I just...
Please.
No.
Completely broken.
No.
Happy.
And bare walls.
Please.
No.
Listen.
Hollow. Empty.
Yeah.
Going
places.
Translucent.
Walls.
White. Bare
Crazy.
walls.
Are you happy?
Completely broken.
How about now?
And I fall.
How about
Happy.
now?
How about now?
I break the plastic seal on the bottle of iron supplements, line up little rust-colored pills, one after the other on the bathroom counter. Take one every day on an empty stomach. I take one pill between my fingers, place it on my tongue, swallow. I take another, swallow. Again, 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 again. Heavier and heavier, iron coursing through my veins, weight down, and donation, and I give and give, and what happened is I need to stop. Maybe today I stop. Today, lunch break donation, downtown clinic. I watch a drop of blood erupt from the tip of my index finger. Your hemoglobin levels are looking good, says the nurse. All pretty blonde freckles. You're good to go. Needle, tube, bag, drained, emptied, juice box, cookie. Thank you. Wait, says the freckled nurse. You get this today. She hands me a little bag. Inside, a golden pin with the number 50 on it, red on gold. 50th blood donation today. You saved a lot of lives. You should be proud. I leave the clinic. My little red and gold token pinned to my coat. I imagine 50 1-liter bags of my blood scattered around the city, the country maybe. I look at everyone who crosses my path. I wonder if they have drops of me, red blood cells of me, plasma platelets inside them. I wonder if they're happy.
Please tell me. I want to know.
There's nothing to say, really. It just didn't happen.
I don't see how someone can just give something up that they've been working their entire life towards.
It happens. It happens all the time.
You hate your job.
A lot of people hate their jobs. Do you have to like your job to be happy?
I think that you do.
A lot of people hate their jobs.
Or you hate posing.
I don't hate it.
You don't love it. You look sad, Jessa.
I'm not sad. I'm giving blood. I'm being useful.
Are you happy with me?
How do we keep circling back to this?
Because you won't give me an answer. You keep slipping out in the middle of the night, and I keep waking up alone. I haven't been back to your place since that first time. It's been months, Jessa. It's been months, and I don't think I really know who you are. When I talk, I know you're not listening. You look at me talking to you like you would look at something in a museum, but you don't register anything. Tell me what would make you happy. Tell me what I can do.